What we are discussing today is not magic. It is not some hollow superstition or a lucky charm for the desperate. It is the application of the law of being. We are taught that the universe is not a chaotic collection of accidents. It is a system of perfect law. And the highest of these laws is this: your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner consciousness. If your life currently reflects a lack of supply, it is not because God has forgotten you. It is not because you are unlucky. It is because you have, perhaps unconsciously, built a mental equivalent of scarcity. To change the picture on the screen of your life, you must change the film in the projector of your mind. You must realize that you are the director of your own experience. This is what we call scientific prayer. It is the process of lifting your thoughts above the problem and aligning them with the divine solution. You are not trying to change the mind of God, for the mind of God is already focused on your perfect good. You are changing your own mind so that you are capable of receiving what is already there. The supply is infinite, but your vessel must be ready to hold it. Every teacher of the New Thought movement understood that while the spirit is infinite, the human mind often needs a point of contact, a physical anchor, to ground its faith. This is why a technique was shared that involves a simple piece of paper and a specific calculation. It is a way to bridge the gap between the invisible realm of ideas and the visible realm of manifestation. Why this specific number? Why your age? Because your age represents your journey. It represents your growth and your current standing in this physical plane. By multiplying it by 1,000, you are invoking the principle of the thousandfold increase. You are taking the you that exists now and expanding it into the realm of divine abundance. You are acknowledging that for every year you have walked this earth, there is a mountain of supply waiting to be claimed. It is a recognition that you are not a beggar, but an heir. When you write this number on a paper, you are not merely writing digits. You are creating a metaphysical anchor. You are telling your subconscious mind, this is the specific channel through which I am ready to receive. You are providing the blueprint for the law of attraction to follow. Remember, it is not the paper that has power. The paper is but a tool. The power lies in your realization. As you write, you must understand that you are not asking for something from a distant, reluctant deity. You are claiming a part of the infinite supply that already exists in the divine mind. You are acting as a legal heir to the kingdom of heaven, presenting your claim for your rightful inheritance. You are aligning yourself with the truth that God's will for you is total, perfect prosperity. Let us look at a real-world application of this law. Consider the story of Joseph, a man who lived in the bustling, often unforgiving environment of Mexico City. Joseph was a hard worker. He was diligent. He was honest. Yet, despite his efforts, he was drowning. He worked 14-hour days, but the debt only grew larger. He was trapped in what we call the hypnotic spell of lack. He believed that he had to struggle to survive. He believed that his supply was limited to his paycheck and the whims of his employers. One day, Joseph encountered this teaching on the scientific multiplier. He was 42 years old. He took a clean sheet of paper and wrote the number, 42,000. But here is where Joseph succeeded where others fail. He did not do it with doubt. As he wrote the digits, the 4, the 2, and the 3 zeros, he practiced the law of substitution. He pushed out the thoughts of debt and replaced them with a single, burning realization. He said to himself. Joseph repeated this every single morning for 7 days. He did not look at his empty pockets. He did not check his mailbox for bills. He focused entirely on the mental equivalent of that $42,000. He walked through the streets not as a man in debt, but as a man who had already been answered. He held his head high, knowing that the spirit does not fail. On the 4th day, the mathematics of the spirit began to move. An old acquaintance, someone he hadn't spoken to in years, called him with a project. It was a specialized task that required exactly Joseph's skill set. When the contract was presented, the payment was not $40,000 or $45,000. It was exactly $42,000. This was not a miracle in the sense of breaking natural laws. It was the fulfillment of a higher law. Joseph had finally stopped resisting the abundance of God. He had opened the door, and the supply, which had been waiting for him all along, simply flowed in through the channel he had opened. He proved that when you change your mind, the universe has no choice but to follow. You must understand this. The supply you need is already in existence. The divine mind does not need to create money for you. The money is already in the world. The opportunities are already there. Your only task Your only work is to lift your consciousness to the level where you can see them and receive them. In the next part, we will dive deeper into the specific steps of the metaphysical treatment and how to handle the vultures of doubt that try to steal your seed before it can grow. We will learn how to make your mind a magnet for the very things you currently think are out of reach. But for now, simply sit with your number, calculate it, write it, and realize the truth. Part the profound necessity of precision when you approach the altar of the divine. You must understand that the infinite mind, while all-knowing, operates through the channels you provide. If your channel is vague, your result will be vague. If your channel is clear and defined, the manifestation will be equally sharp. Emmet often said that the greatest enemy of the successful prayer is mental drifting. Many people spend their lives praying for better circumstances or more money, but they never stop to define what that actually means. This is why the technique of writing your age multiplied by 1,000 is so revolutionary. It forces you to stop the drift. It forces you to give the law of attraction a specific target. To turn that written number from a mere digit into a living reality, you must accompany it with what we call a metaphysical treatment. This is a 5-step mental process that shifts your consciousness from the realm of wishing to the realm of knowing. You begin by recognizing that God is the only presence and the only power. You look away from your bank balance, away from your bills, and away from your debts. You acknowledge that there is only one source, an infinite, intelligent energy that permeates every atom of the universe. If God is everywhere, then abundance is everywhere. You realize that since God is the source, and you are an expression of God, you are naturally and legally entitled to all that the source possesses. You are a wave in the ocean of divine abundance. The wave does not have to struggle to find water, it is made of water. In this step, you internalize the truth that your supply is not out there, waiting to be found, but here, waiting to be realized. This is where you handle the vultures of doubt. You specifically deny that the current appearance of scarcity has any power over you. You look at your written number, your 30,000, your 50,000, or your 60,000, and you say, scarcity is a lie. Limitation is a shadow. These numbers on my bills are temporary facts, but they are not the spiritual truth of my life. You are not denying that the bill exists. You are denying its right to limit your future. Now, you state the truth with authority. You affirms, the abundance of God is flowing into my life now in perfect, harmonious ways. This specific amount I have written is already mine in the spirit, and it is hardening into material form as I speak. You speak this not as a hope, but as a legal decree. You seal the treatment with a profound sense of, thank you. You do not wait for the money to arrive to be grateful. You are grateful now because the law of spirit has already answered the call. Gratitude is the magnet that pulls the manifestation into your hands. Let us consider Maria, a woman of 35 who found herself at a crossroads. She had lost her employment and was facing a future of uncertainty. The world told her to be afraid. The world told her to settle for less. Maria chose the path of the scientific prayer. She was 35, so she wrote 35,000 on a card. But she did something different. She combined the writing with the 5-step treatment every single morning. When she reached step 5, gratitude, she would close her eyes and actually feel the relief of having that 35,000. She didn't visualize the how. She didn't try to guess which company would hire her. She focused entirely on the mental equivalent of the result. One afternoon, while she was practicing her treatment, a thought occurred to her to visit an old friend. It seemed like a random impulse, but in the world of spirit, there are no accidents. That friend introduced her to a business opportunity she had never considered. Within 10 days, the contracts she secured totaled exactly 35,000. Maria's success came because she remained on-pointed. She didn't let the vultures of anxiety eat her seed. She kept her eye on the number and her heart in the gratitude. She understood that God doesn't need a salary to bless you. God needs a consciousness that is open to the blessing. You must realize that your subconscious mind is like a servant. If you give it conflicting orders, if you think of abundance in the morning and lack in the evening, the servant is confused and does nothing. The multiplication of your age by Fern Zallerzern is a command that the subconscious can understand. It is big enough to inspire you, but small enough for your logic to accept. When you hold this number in your mind alongside the 5 steps of the treatment, you are creating a new mental habit. You are training your soul to expect success. In the next and final part, we will discuss the 21-day discipline and how to maintain your high watch when the world tries to pull you back into the old patterns of fear. But for now, review your treatment. Are you truly recognizing the source? Are you truly denying the limitation? The Father knows what you have need of, but you must be the one to claim it.